At Cape Cod, Grandma alternated her afternoon lunches and evening meals with different sets of grandchildren. It took courage to be late for a big house dinner. Like Grandpa, she was prompt and rigid about decorum, elbows off the table, hair groomed, fork placed neatly next to the knife on our plate after dinner, etc., etc. Her love of learning, along with her deep religious faith, were principal remedies against materialism, which she declared eroded everything of value. She was an exemplar of platonic love of knowledge and beauty without the need to possess. Grandma wanted us to be well-rounded, interested in every aspect of life, including politics, music, art, science, religion, architecture, history, sports, and languages. Over dinner of chipped beef, asparagus, and angel food cake, she inquired about our summer reading, or instructed us on how to distinguish Doric from Ionic and Corinthian columns. She led us into discussions of topics ranging from local politics to African topography to Gaelic Renaissance. She would accost us on the compound lawn and grill us about entomology, multiplication tables, or the Stations of the Cross, or give us spot quizzes on history, astronomy, or religion.
It was scary.
That's definitely
She'd read the papers every morning, and she would also read all kinds of other reading material. And if she saw an article or a poem or a stanza that she liked, she would clip it out and then she would pin it to her sweater. So she had all of these clippings, flowing off her sweater. She looked like a Christmas tree, and then she would go on long walks every day. She would walk probably 8 miles a day. And usually she'd pick up one of the grandchildren to walk with her, and then she'd quiz them on stuff. She'd read from these clippings and quiz us on French or Spanish or American history.
This is what you say about growing up there. This kind of describes life as a young Kennedy in this day and in that day and age. Every day we spent time on the ocean. My mother and father took us on Victoria, a 26-foot wooden day sailor, for a picnic lunch on one of the nearby islands, where we fished for sand sharks, scup, flounder, puffers, and sea robins, gathered hermit crabs, periwinkles, and scallops, or dug for tasty steamers that betrayed their location on the tidal flats by squirting. With Captain Frank at the helm, we also took lunch outings on Grandpa's wooden cabin cruiser, the Marlin, crossing the Sound, Monomoy or Cuttyhunk to explore the Elizabeth Islands and gorge from picnic baskets of Grandpa's favorite foods: lobsters with hot butter and lemon, corn on the cob, strawberry shortcake, Boston cream pie, baked beans, and clam chowder. We children talked and caroused up on the bow while Grandpa sat astern with the grown-ups: Uncle Jack, my father, Teddy, my mother, Aunt Eunice, and Sarge Shriver, Gene and Steve Smith, and Pat and Peter Lawford. Hyannisport was a magical paradise for me. I loved the endless palette of colors, the vivid blue sea, the vivid blue of sea and sky, separated by rich green landscapes, peppered with roses and daffodils, each in their seasons, the gleaming white houses, and offshore a panoply of brightly hued spinnakers running downwind. The ocean was always changing from blue to every shade of green, to gray and almost black, to match the moods of the wind and sky. Here, surrounded by my family, I could indulge my obsession with the natural world. When I was 11, my father gave me a motorized aqualung, a 2-horsepower compressor wedged in a styrofoam ring that bobbed at the ocean surface, pumping air down a 15-foot umbilical hose into a mask, the perfect contraption for exploring the shallow waters off Hyannisport. I filled its tank with gasoline from the private gas pump adjacent to Grandpa's garage, and, wearing this apparatus, I swam with my little spear gun into dark caverns, the wrinkled rocks below the mile-long Hyannisport jetty.
Yeah, that boat, the Marlin, was like a Hemingway-esque, cabin cruiser on mahogany, and a guy bought it in Capri, and during my honeymoon with Cheryl, we ended up staying at his house. He's a guy who owns Tom's Shoes. And we have ended up going back on that boat every day and going to the Greek islands. It was really like a magical, renewal of my youth.
So that's the childhood. I
Yeah.
mean, it's like kind of amazing
Yeah.
childhood.
I was very lucky to have